Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans, do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Cowboys Nation. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most thrilling, controversial, and talked about games of the NFL season so far, the Thanksgiving showdown at AT&T Stadium, where the Dallas Cowboys managed to edge past the Kansas City Chiefs with a final score of 31-28. But this wasn't just your typical game. It was a roller coaster of emotions, strategic battles, and let's be honest, some officiating controversies that have left fans and analysts buzzing across the league. So, buckle up, because we're about to unpack everything, from the game's pivotal moments, the impact on the playoff race, the ongoing debate about officiating, and what this means for the Cowboys moving forward. Now imagine yourself sitting in that electrifying atmosphere at AT&T Stadium, watching a game that had everything: explosive offensive plays, gritty defensive stops, and moments of pure tension that had fans on the edge of their seats. The Cowboys, fresh off last week's impressive win, looked determined to keep their momentum alive, especially against a team like Kansas City, which has been a perennial powerhouse in recent years. But as we all know in the NFL, nothing is guaranteed, and especially not when penalties and refereeing come into play. And folks, that's exactly what happened here, sparking heated debates across social media and among NFL insiders. So, let's start with the big reveal. What exactly happened that made this game so controversial? Well, the game itself was a classic back-and-forth affair, with lead changes, dramatic drives, and clutch plays by stars like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Prescott was sharp, throwing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, showing once again why he's considered one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the league this season. Lamb, as usual, was a focal point of the offense, making key catches that kept Dallas in the game. George Pickens also had a significant moment, sealing the victory with a crucial first-down catch in the final moments. But what stole the headlines was the officiating, specifically, the numerous penalties called against Kansas City, which many fans and analysts believe heavily influenced the outcome. Kansas City finished the game with a staggering 10 accepted penalties for 119 yards. That's no small feat. In a league where the game is often decided by small margins, giving a team almost 120 yards via penalties can be a game changer. And that's exactly what critics are pointing out, that the officiating appeared to favor Dallas, whether intentionally or not. From questionable pass interference calls to missed penalties on Dallas's side, the narrative starts to take shape. The most glaring example: a late-game call against Chiefs cornerback Trent McDuffie, who was in tight coverage on CeeDee Lamb. The refs flagged McDuffie for defensive pass interference, a call that many believe was questionable, possibly a ticky-tack call, but it gave Dallas a crucial first down. From there, Prescott connected with George Pickens to seal the game. But let's not forget the other controversial moment, the non-call when Pickens took his helmet off after a catch in the first quarter. While some fans expected a flag, Pickens was not penalized, which raised eyebrows. The debate over officiating quality in the NFL is ongoing, and games like this only add fuel to the fire. For Chiefs fans, it's reminiscent of some of the calls that have gone against their team during their recent success, creating a sense of frustration and conspiracy theories about league favoritism. For Cowboys fans, it's a moment of validation. Finally, we got some calls going our way, they might say. But the overarching question remains: is the officiating consistent and fair across the league? That's a discussion that's been gaining momentum for years, especially with the high-profile mistakes and missed calls in critical moments. Now, to understand the significance of this game, we need to look at the broader context of the Cowboys season. Dallas entered this matchup with high hopes, a defense that's been playing well, an offense that's been clicking at times, and a clear desire to make a deeper playoff run than last year. Their recent form has been promising, with key contributions from Prescott, Lamb, and the emerging talent in the backfield. But this game against the Chiefs was a real litmus test, pitting them against a team that's historically been a model of offensive excellence led by Patrick Mahomes and a robust defense. While Mahomes was not himself at his peak, the Chiefs' offense still posed a significant threat, especially with their playmakers like Rashee Rice. In terms of statistics, Prescott finished with over 300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception, a solid performance that demonstrated his growth this season. CeeDee Lamb was targeted repeatedly, finishing with nearly 150 yards and a touchdown, reaffirming his status as one of the league's top receivers. George Pickens, in his crucial role, caught the game-winning pass, adding yet another highlight to his impressive rookie season. On the other side, the Chiefs' offense was led by Mahomes, who threw for over 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, but his day was marred by the penalties and some uncharacteristic mistakes, including a crucial fumble in the red zone that could have swung momentum in Kansas City's favor. The defensive side of the ball was intriguing as well. Dallas's defense, known for its aggressive pass rush and stout run defense, managed to contain Kansas City's offensive threats for the most part, but not without some struggles. The Chiefs' offense was able to move the ball effectively in stretches, but penalties and missed opportunities ultimately hampered their ability to capitalize fully. Rashee Rice's dropped pass in the fourth quarter was a critical mistake, denying Kansas City a chance to tie or take the lead. Additionally, 2 near turnovers in the red zone by Dallas kept the game within reach for Kansas City, showcasing how crucial every play was. This brings us to the broader implications of the game. For Dallas, this victory is more than just a win, it's a statement. They're now sitting at a solid position in the NFC playoff picture, with a chance to climb higher if they can capitalize on upcoming matchups. The confidence gained from a close victory like this, especially against a reigning Super Bowl contender, is invaluable. It proves that Dallas can withstand adversity, manage situations under pressure, and even deal with controversial officiating and still come out on top. For Kansas City, the loss is a bitter pill to swallow, especially considering the penalties and missed opportunities. The Chiefs have been one of the most disciplined teams in the league historically, but this game's penalty yardage was uncharacteristic. The question now is, how will this impact their momentum? Will they bounce back with even more focus and discipline? Or will lingering frustrations affect their upcoming games? Mahomes and the Chiefs have historically been resilient, but games like these test their mental toughness, a trait that's been a hallmark of their recent success. Now, let's take a moment to compare this game with other recent NFL matchups, especially those involving playoff contenders. It's not uncommon for officiating to be a hot topic in tight games, and the NFL has faced ongoing criticism about consistency and transparency. What makes this game stand out is the clear pattern of penalties against Kansas City, which some experts say could be a reflection of the league's broader officiating challenges. But regardless of the officiating, the fact remains that Dallas had to capitalize on those calls and avoid making mistakes themselves. Prescott's near interception and Vontae Turpin's fumble were costly, yet the Cowboys managed to stay composed and finish strong. When we look at the bigger picture, this game underscores the importance of discipline, situational awareness, and mental toughness, qualities that Dallas showed in abundance. It also highlights the ongoing debate about officiating standards, which has been a thorn in the side of fans, players, and coaches for years. The NFL has promised reforms, but games like these remind us that the system still has flaws, and it's something the league needs to address urgently if it wants to maintain trust and fairness in the game. So, what can we expect moving forward? Well, for the Cowboys, this win sets the stage for a promising playoff push. Their schedule gets tougher, no doubt, but with Prescott leading the offense and a defense that's growing more confident, they have the tools to make a deep postseason run. The chemistry between Prescott and Lamb continues to be a key storyline, and the emergence of other offensive weapons like Pickens adds depth to their attack. On defense, they'll need to stay disciplined and avoid costly penalties, especially against high-powered offenses. The Chiefs, meanwhile, will have to regroup. Mahomes will analyze what went wrong, and their coaching staff will focus on fixing those red zone issues and minimizing penalties. The loss also raises questions about their defensive consistency and the effectiveness of their secondary, especially with McDuffie and other corners under scrutiny. Kansas City's resilience has been proven time and again, but they'll need to tighten up to avoid slipping further behind in the AFC standings. One of the most interesting aspects of this game is how it sets up future matchups. The Cowboys and Chiefs could very well meet again in the playoffs, and if they do, officiating might be a hot topic once more. Will the league address the inconsistencies, or will we see more games decided on controversial calls? That's the million-dollar question. For now, fans can enjoy the drama, the tension, and the football itself, but the underlying issues of officiating and fairness remain front and center. As we look ahead, the NFL season is entering its critical final stretch. Every game counts, and for Dallas and Kansas City, each week will be a test of resilience, discipline, and mental toughness. The Cowboys' ability to win close games like this one, especially against top-tier opponents, will be a huge factor in their postseason success. Meanwhile, the Chiefs will need to learn from this experience, tighten their play, and continue their pursuit of another Super Bowl appearance. Now, let's reflect for a moment. Imagine the conversations happening in NFL circles, from barbershops to sports bars, social media threads to ESPN panels. The officiating controversy will dominate discussions, with some arguing that the game was unfairly influenced, while others believe the calls were justified. But beyond that, what stands out is the resilience of the Cowboys, their ability to execute under pressure, to adapt to the game's flow, and to capitalize on opportunities, even when the officiating isn't perfect. That's what championship teams do. They find a way to win, regardless of the adversity. And speaking of adversity, how will this game impact the Cowboys' psyche? Will it serve as a rallying point or a source of frustration? That's something only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the Cowboys have proven they belong among the league's elite this season. Their upcoming schedule will be tough, with games against other playoff contenders, but the confidence they've gained here could be the difference maker in tight situations. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you, this game will be remembered not just for the final score, but for the intense debate it sparked about officiating, competitive spirit, and the gritty determination of both teams. It's a perfect example of how NFL games are much more than just plays on a field. They are stories, battles of will, and reflections of the league's ongoing quest to perfect fairness and excellence. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this game? Do you believe the officiating heavily influenced the outcome? Or do you think Dallas simply played better in those critical moments? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and behind-the-scenes insights into your favorite team. So stay tuned, keep the passion alive, and let's keep this conversation going. Because in the end, this game wasn't just about a win or a loss. It was about the heart, the controversy, and the relentless pursuit of greatness that defines the Dallas Cowboys. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys.